അധാർമികമായ കാര്യങ്ങളാണ് ഇന്നലെ എത്തിക്സ് കമ്മിറ്റിയിൽ നടന്നതെന്ന് ടിഎംസി എംപി മഹുവ മൊയ്ത്ര MediaOneനോട്. എത്തിക്സ് കമ്മിറ്റിയിൽ ദ്രൗപദിയെ പോലെ വസ്ത്രാക്ഷേപം ചെയ്യപ്പെട്ടു. പരാതിയെക്കുറിച്ച് ചോദിക്കുന്നതിന് പകരം വൃത്തികെട്ട ചോദ്യങ്ങളാണ് തന്നോട് ചോദിച്ചത്. താൻ ആരോടാണ് രാത്രിയിൽ ഫോണിൽ സംസാരിക്കുന്നതെന്ന് ചോദിച്ചു. പരാതിയുമായി ഇതിന് ബന്ധമില്ലെന്ന് പ്രതിപക്ഷ എംപിമാർ പറഞ്ഞിട്ടും ഇത്തരം ചോദ്യങ്ങൾ എത്തിക്സ് കമ്മിറ്റി ചെയർമാൻ ആവർത്തിച്ചെന്നും മഹുവ മൊയ്ത്ര MediaOneനോട് പറഞ്ഞു.
തൃണമൂൽ കോൺഗ്രസ് എംപി മഹുവ മൊയ്ത്ര ഇപ്പോൾ MediaOneനോടൊപ്പം ചേരുകയാണ്. Ma'am, what has happened in ethics committee yesterday?
Something very unfortunate happened. The ethics committee of the Indian Parliament turned out to be the most unethical, I would say, witch hunt. It was like a Vastraharan, the disrobing of Draupadi, where the chairperson, instead of asking questions relevant to the investigation or the matter on hand, which was the NIC login and the alleged gifts, instead of asking that, asked the most dirty, sordid, personal, invasive questions about my private life. He was warned repeatedly. There were 10 people present there, plus the chairman. Out of 10 members, 5 members, 5 from the BJP, 5 from the opposition. All 5 opposition members from JDU, from Congress, from CPIM, BSP, repeatedly warned him that this is not relevant to the inquiry. Stop this. He had a pre-approved set of questions that he was reading from, and he refused to budge from it. Some of the questions were very dirty. They were like, for example, so-and-so is a dear friend. How dear is he? Does his wife, and he mentions the wife's name, know how dear he is? Then he says, you talk late at night on your phone. Who do you talk to late at night? Can you give us the call details of your late night calls in the next 24 hours to me? Then he says, where have you traveled in last 5 years? Who have you stayed with in a hotel? So this kind of cheap questioning. So I told him many times that I'm here as a witness. Doesn't mean you can ask questions relevant to the inquiry. You cannot sit here and I'm one out of 78 in a country of 1.4 billion of women sitting in the Lok Sabha. And you cannot ask these questions. But he was reading from a script. He had absolutely no idea. And all the 5 opposition MPs said we do not want to participate in this Vastraharan, in this most unethical ethics committee hearing. So they walked out. And then I also recorded my protest and said that I have answered all questions. I am willing to answer all questions relevant to the inquiry. But there is no rule as a citizen of India and as an MP that I have to sit here and be subjected to this kind of misogynist abuse by this man. So I left.
Do you think will you get justice from this ethics committee?
See, the Parliament of India itself, the institution has been destroyed. You have seen House belongs to opposition. You have seen how we can't talk, there is no dissent, there is no debate in Parliament. So an ethics committee in that same Parliament with the BJP as majority, they do anything they like anyway. So that's there. I can always hope for justice, but given what's happening in the country, everybody can see what's happening.
Will you continue a fight towards forward justice?
Oh, of course. That's why we are here in politics, and that's why we will continue, of course.
They are accusing that you have used unparliamentary language in the...
Who's they? Who's they? Everything is transcribed. Everything said inside the room is transcribed. Every transcription is given inside. The only word that I have used is behuda, which means shameless, which is exactly what the man was doing by asking. When you ask a woman all these irrelevant, cheap questions, then you are shameless. That's the only word I used was behuda, and I stand by it. Nobody used anything. It is all transcribed. It is the chairman's questions that were, forget unparliamentary, they were cheap and insulting to the dignity of a woman. Thank you.
നീതിക്ക് വേണ്ടിയുള്ള തന്റെ പോരാട്ടം തുടരുമെന്നാണ് തൃണമൂൽ കോൺഗ്രസ് എംപിയായ മഹുവ മൊയ്ത്ര വ്യക്തമാക്കിയിരിക്കുന്നത്. ഡൽഹിയിൽ നിന്നും ക്യാമറമാൻ ഹരി മുണ്ടൂരിനൊപ്പം അരവിന്ദ് PR, MediaOne.